Okay. I don't know if that's gonna be good or not. All right, how's everybody doing? I want to make a really quick video about water for your business and the benefits. So I just got to get this car out real quick. Give me some time. I want to see if a little more people are going to go on YouTube, because I got literally like 20 minutes here and I got to go up mobile again. So I don't want to waste my time. I just wanted to go live and talk about this guy right here. Give me a couple minutes. That was meant to be. So, okay, I'm using the back side of my phone, so I'm going to be looking to my right. I shared my screen on this guy, so I can see what I'm showing. Okay, I have a really funny setup right now. So first, let me see who's on here. Okay, shout out to everybody that's watching. GWORKS, Clean Right, Cut Right, Devin Morgan. Anyways, I just want to get right into it. I'm just showing these boxes of something that I ordered first, and then I want to talk about the water. So you get a 2-piece package. Later on, when I'm going to have time, I'm going to try to find the link. And I think it's, I got to find the person that actually sent me the link to this DI resin tank. So when you order this, you get 2 boxes. This one, just to show you the size, okay? And then you get this one. This guy right here sat in that big old box right there. In this little box, you get the assembly. You get the funnel. You get the adapters. And just a whole bunch of bubble wraps. Nobody needs that box. So, somewhat of instructions. Okay. So you got the tank. You got the DI resin that's inside. You got this big old funnel to refill. This unscrews, pops off. This goes on. This piece goes on here with the connections, 3/4 of garden hose. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that's assembled in different packages. So, what did my title say? Okay, we're gonna go into what type of water to use. Can you believe it? I'm actually using this board finally. Okay. You got 3 types of water. You got more water than that, but benefits for a detailing business. Okay, so number 1, you got deionized. Number 2, you got distilled. And number 3, okay, you got deionized, you got distilled, you got reverse osmosis. Those waters are benefits of not leaving any water spots behind. Going into details, simplest, easiest, less maintenance would be deionized water, number 1. I'm just going to make this short and simple because I got to still go out mobile. Number 2, that's distilled. It's a really big hassle. I was just talking to GWORKS yesterday, and I remembered about the distilled water when I used to boil. So, oh, Sporties, shout out to you. Okay, first of all, you can buy a ready machine for like $3,000 or whatever on distilled, but that's not the route I'm going. So instead of me, I've actually decided to build something with my dad, and it takes a lot of maintenance work. So it looks something like this. The idea of this distilled water, how it works, you burn it inside a drum, metal. The water's filled halfway. It boils. All the vapors get trapped, and it comes out this end of the hoses, and it goes to the radiators. So it's steam coming out from the drum. This cools down in the radiator. In this box, we had a radiator. The fans were cooling the steam down, and it turned steam into liquid. So I don't want to go into details of this, but just to give you an idea how big of a hassle it is. And it pumps only about 5 gallons in an hour. I mean, that's how fast we built it. The $3,000 machines out there, they pump about 4 gallons an hour or so. So when I didn't know about deionized water, I spent a lot of money on propane for distilled water, because you do have to use propane to burn it. So yeah, it wasn't cheap. Distilled, not a good option. Reverse osmosis, not a good option either. It's pretty much filtered, like a 3-stage. There's multiple stages of filtering out the water. There's membranes, there's cartridges, and there's also a downside to this, because it also it pushes water out backwards to where it doesn't. It's not okay. One thing, it's not beneficial. So if anybody wanted to see and just get this information, I pointed out the 3 options of the waters, and I'm going to do this for you guys since I said, you know, I want to help you out as much as I can. And since I already went through all these routes, well, except this one, I didn't go through that route. I did this. It was a hassle. Did it for about less than a year. I did it quits because I started looking into more information. I knew about reverse osmosis, wasn't willing to go that route. Then I found out about the deionized water. I went with deionized water. I was doubting myself at first, but once I started using it, with Colligan, it's not a bad price for $165, at least here, and then $27 on refills, on the rental for your DI tank, something like this. Let me see if I can. This is a 36-inch tall. Colligan's is 48 inches, so it's 4-footer, so it's another foot taller. The difference with this is I pay about what rental? About $200. Okay, so we discussed what type of water is best for you. We're sticking with deionized water. I covered that section. Now the benefits. Let's talk about benefits. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really trying with my handwriting today, but yeah, I kind of did try right here though. If anybody saw my, you know, vlog whenever. So the benefits are with water, and then I want to go in and explain the pricing and the unit that one of my subscribers sent to me. I can't find it right now because my phone, I'm using my phone to go live for this, but I will look it up, and I do have to throw a shout out in my next video. So the benefits of the water, one thing is it's the most important. If you do a lot of washes, you want to not worry about wiping the car when the water is drying. So basically, the deionized water doesn't leave water spots. Regular water will leave water spots. So if you use regular water, if you're doing a car wash, right, you're doing inside and outside. So in general, if you wash the exterior, and then instead of rinsing the vehicle with deionized water and going inside and starting vacuuming, wiping, whatever you need to do, and let some of that water dry out, and then if you're done on the inside, all you can do is walk around and wipe certain areas where it's wet. Because you don't have to rush and worry about, oh my gosh, if I don't wipe it, it's going to leave water spots. That's the beauty of deionized water. It doesn't leave that. So in this way, the benefits of it should save you time, and you're going to be doing, let's say, you can kind of sell it as higher quality work. Because if you look at every vehicle, I mean, I don't know if it's just me, when I pay attention to vehicles that I get for a detail and somebody been going on and washing their vehicles, when I open the jams, especially on a black car, I see all the hard water spots, and that just kind of bugs me really bad, and I just can't stand it. So I don't know, that's one of the benefits. If you leave water in the cracks and crevices like jams or whatever, if it dries out, it dries out dry. The only thing you can get in there is like dust, and all you have to do is just wipe it away. So benefits of, it's going to be more high quality washes for you, and if you maintain it right, maintain it properly, sorry, where was it? Maintain properly? Basically, meaning not maintaining, but basically if you figure out a steps you want to take, washing it first and going on the inside, technically you're saving time while you're not drying the car. You're actually using your time to do the interior while the car is drying. So basically, you're not stepping away from interior to dry the vehicle so it doesn't leave any water spots. You can forget about the water on the car because you're not going to get any water spots. You can go inside. Okay? That's one of the benefits right there. There could be multiple other benefits, but I'm just sticking to simple and short so you guys can understand. Technically, that should be a fast pace for you. It should be faster. I mean, you know, for me, when I started, with Colligan, I'm like, it's almost 200 bucks per amount, and I gotta talk about that. 200 bucks, and I was like biting my teeth. That's per tank exchange. So depending on how many tank exchanges you change in a month, you change 2, you change 3, you change 4. It keeps adding the $200, if that makes sense. So let's talk about Colligan. And then let's talk about this. There is no specific name for this because I know it's RV Mods, the website. It's RV Mods, and it's in there. So I'm gonna put RV Mods. I think that's what it is. But if anything, later on, after this is all done, I'm gonna go look it up, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna link everything in the description. Okay, but I want to break down the pricing, and I already broke down the benefits of this and what type of water to use, which for me, through the time that I've started, since I showed you a little bit what I've been through, what I've done, benefits, money-wise, all points to DI, water, deionized. So I'm gonna just call RV Mods. That's where I ordered it. And believe it or not, I was trying to look around to see better if it's a better price anywhere else. They have the best price. On the DI resin, they got a bag for DI resin exchanging this, so we'll get in all to that. But Colligan, I'm gonna talk about TDS. I don't know if you guys know what TDS is. Let me grab a TDS meter so I can show you. Okay, so I'm gonna just show. This is how a TDS meter looks like. Here. Sort of. This is one of these pieces right here. What this does is checks the TDS, which is total dissolved solids in your water. And the more that you get of TDS, total dissolved solids, the harder the water spots are going to be on your car. In all general idea, when you have 0 TDS, water dries out, there's no total dissolved solids after water dries. So you're good. Roughly at my shop, we've been getting from 30, 40 TDS around the lowest, might have been on and off. And then the highest we've been getting was around 160, 170. So when you get higher TDS, the water's more harder. So it does play a role with the DI resin. If it needs to filter out high TDS, it's going to run the quantity of deionized water because of how much harder total dissolved solids it's supposed to remove. We're going to go with a 110 TDS bracket. Since the information that they're given on the website on 110 TDS scale. That's TDS is and let me just kind of close this down. I don't know how well it's going to be. Okay, I think that's going to be a little bit better, no? Okay, so right now I'm just going to try to explain everything, and then I'm going to grab my phone so I can actually look at some of the comments, so I can maybe, hopefully, if I miss something, I can answer it. So guys, please bear with me. I'm kind of, behind everything. TDS is how how much minerals your water has. In this case, how dirty the water is, but of course it's not physically dirty, but in TDS wise. Okay, so let's do 100. Now what I'm going to be doing here is Colligan's tank and this tank. So I got this tank before yesterday, so I will do either a vlog or another live, an update to see if it actually is true on what they're claiming. So RV mods claim they can get on this one tank, one bag of DI resin, they claim that they will get 4,000 gallons. Since I've been with Colligan, been doing all this, that's a shock to me. And that's where I'm kind of excited at the same time, but then I don't want to overexcite myself and then figure out like, you know what, it was just false advertising. But we'll find out when I do test this bad boy out and figure out, you know, what it's going to do actually. So 4,000 gallons of deionized water at 110 TDS. So this one, 110 TDS. We've been getting, wait for it, around 1,000, 1,200, give or take. I'm gonna just put 1,100, just to be fair. So, and if you're thinking I'm taking a wild guess with Colligan, just hold on one second. So what is today? January 31st? Yeah, I don't know what today is, what date. This is a log. Should I shut this off? It's kind of... All right. This is a log we always keep for Colligan. And it goes back to 2015 of July. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, hopefully it showed up. So that's how far back, you know, I kept track of Colligan's tanks. 2015 July. What is it right now? 2018. I think that's plenty of keeping track, and that's where I'm going with 1,100 gallons of 110 TDS in the water. So can you believe this? If this is freaking 4,000 gallons at 110 TDS, oh man, it's gonna be insane. I mean, you know. Now let's talk about price. So this, if no one is catching on, this is pretty much a price of the quantity of water per 1 unit. So every time when you use this unit, Colligan's or this, once it's done with filtering out the water, it's going to start showing TDS. So basically, Colligan's goes out with 0 TDS until it goes out about 1,100 gallons at 110 TDS. Then it starts to show up with TDS and slowly raises. But and just to let you guys know, even when it's up at let's say about a 10 TDS, you should still be safe with water, because I've tested with 10 TDS already in the water washing the car, and you almost get no water spots. I mean, literally. I don't really try to do that, but I did test that. So having 10 TDS, but I did test around 40, 50, you do get water spots. And what I mean, how I tested with the 40, 50, because if you buy one of those drinking waters, and I tested those ones, and it said around 30, 40, some of them even said 50, I spill that over and it dries out with water spots on the car. Now, for that one unit, one exchange, we're talking about that's $165, I think, plus $27 rental. Let's see here. That's 87.92. Am I right? Okay. Anyways, I hope I'm right. Let me see. 6, 7, 8. That's 7, 5. Yeah, 192. Sorry, you know, I'm not a teacher, but I feel like I'm a teacher since I have a board with all these markers. So you would be paying $192 for of deionized water of 1,100 gallons. Now, I've spent on this. This is the starting point and the ending point and continuing point with Colligan. I spent for this unit that I showed you in the beginning of the video, $550 with everything. With the DI resins already inside, this opens up, with a funnel, with this, and they even sent you this TDS meter, which is really cool because this TDS meter also has a temperature reader of the water. The other ones that I have don't have that, you know, temperature reading. Okay, $550 I spent one time for this unit. I don't know if I can. Okay, if you can't really see anything from there, I'm gonna try to bring it in to check on the comments, and then that way, you know, hopefully if somebody needs to check back, you guys will be able to see that. So if you have, if you can invest the $550, I'm gonna put my hands down and say go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna tell you how much stuff I've been testing out and going through, but believe me when I say going through the 3 types of water that I've just talked about, figuring out the DI resin is the best for either quality wise and maintenance wise. And if we're talking about distilled water and DI water, I just remembered this since I was talking to GWORKS yesterday. DI resin water can start showing up TDS just because it sits out in open air. If it's not covered, if it's in the sun, like 1 TDS in a month. On distilled water, it's a lot faster. So if you have distilled water, if you're gonna let it sit for about 2 months, 2 weeks, you're gonna get close to 15, 19, give or take TDS. Yeah. So in all quality wise, the water is much more. It's much more quality on DI water versus distilled water. So if you do let it sit for over a month, you get 1 TDS. It could build up 1 TDS in the water because I do pump water versus using in the truck mount, and I can explain that in a little bit. So, and then like I said, it takes up to 9 TDS, up to 10 TDS that you still won't see any water spots. So you should be good. If I get about 1 TDS a month, I can go on 9 months, but I use up the water like every week. So it's not a problem for me. And I have a capacity of 700 gallons to hold water. So I'm not worried about that. Okay, so if you have the investment of $550 for this unit right here, and guess how much you're going to be paying for another continuous 4,000 gallons. Now guys, let me stop you right now. This is all what they're claiming, okay? I'm not saying this is true or false yet until I need time to use this tank up and I can figure out what it's actually doing. And I'll probably make a live or make a video of what it actually did. So, on exchange to the same website, you're going to be paying, wait for it, how much was this? 192? This one was like 179 and some change. 180 bucks pretty much. So you're getting 4,000 gallons. You're paying a little cheaper than Colligan. Can you imagine if okay, let me clarify this. So pretty much you're going to be paying 192 for every exchange when the DI resin is out. It's not out, but you know, once stops filtering, you have to pay another $190. Well, it's only $27 once a month, but then you have to pay the recurring $165. So the amount that this is supposed to produce, I would say this is still supposed to be cheaper, because so far I've never reached 4,000 gallons on just one unit. Even though if I paid attention to TDS water, it's like bare 3,000 or something like that. And if I would pump like a 30 TDS. So, recurring DI resin, 180 bucks on this unit right here. With this one, you would be paying 165 if you already paid the $27 one time in that month. Now, if it goes to the next month, it's going to be another $27, and it's going to be continuing at 165. Well, that's the prices of right now. I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know if that's going to be different in any other states. But cost-wise, gallon-wise, big difference. We're not talking about 500 gallons more, 1,000 gallons more. That's like 2,900 gallons more. Wait, is it? Yeah, 2,900 gallons more. So I'm sold right there. But as far as that, we're going to have to test it and see if that's true or not. Let's talk about, should you mount this in your truck or should you pump water? I've explained how long it takes to build up TDS if you were to keep that water sitting, pumping. So I don't have that issue. I'm out of the water in the week, the 700 gallons. Of course, if I'm busy. Okay. I gotta find a section, so I think I'm gonna take off what TDS stands for, total dissolved solids. Okay. So let's say we're gonna talk about locations. So let's say this is location 1, location 2. Location 3, and we're going to go by 110 TDS at this location. Let's say 250 TDS at this location, and I don't even know why you did the 3, location 3. Okay, it was scratched out. We're going to talk about if you mount this DI system in your truck and you don't pump it to have for storage to go out and do the washes. So if you're at location, right, and number 1 location, if you go out there every time and it's 110 TDS, if the TDS doesn't drop or raise, so you will get 4,000 gallons at the 1 location. If you're at location 2 and 250 TDS, you know what? Let me do this so I can have it. So it's double, so the math is easier. So if this is 110 TDS, let's say this one is going to be 220 TDS. That was only 30 difference. So guess what happens if at the second location the TDS is twice as more? That's double, right? What that means is instead of getting 4,000 gallons of water, you're going to be able to only get out 2,000 gallons of water. So it does play a role when the TDS is high or low. The higher the TDS, the less quantity is going to produce on DI water. So the idea behind pumping water, so you get 4,000 gallons here. And you get 2,000 gallons here due to TD. To 20 TDS. So I just put down truck mount. Okay. Yeah, these markers suck. Okay. Now if you pump water, let's say, and I'm going to count this as day 1, and day 2. And I can pump, let's say I have 3 totes and I can get up to storage of water. Storage. 700 gallons. Okay? So I can, and I'll explain to you the storage of water, keeping the storage of water. So day number 1, we're gonna go and say the lowest you would be checking your water at the time if you want to pump water to see if it will be beneficial. Day 1, you got 40 TDS, right? And I'm saying that 40 TDS because I checked my water. It jumped from 30-40 to up to 160-170. And let's say this one day, it does change in a day, guys, too, by the way. The TDS could be changed, jumping up and down in that same day. Now, it could stay the same all day, or it could be, so it just, I guess, plays a role in the nature. But then as far as if it's groundwater or it's contained water, so where they add, you know, the minerals, the chlorine, so yeah, that's going to jump up every day if they keep, you know, adding the chlorine and minerals to the water, the city. So, and day 2, we're going to be, let's say, having the 220 TDS. Okay, and I think this is where it would be a bad idea if I had a 3rd day. And let's say this is back to 40 TDS. Okay, so day 1, I check the water, it's at 40 TDS. Dang right, I'm going to pump water. Because if you get, wow, I should have done that again. Okay, let's do 55. Let's do 55 TDS. Since we're going to be doing everything double. So if it drops 55, a half of what this tank is claiming to do at 110 TDS. So if it produces 4,000 gallons at 110 TDS, and if you pump water at 55 TDS, technically, if you catch that in all those days, you catch that 55 constantly, TDS, and you keep pumping, guess what that means? Now, this is all just me claiming from the information that I got from them, and this is may not be, you know, exact number, but I'm just throwing this information out to get you guys an idea. You would be getting 8,000 gallons of deionized water. Now, let me think about if I'm not making a mistake here. Yes, but in all general idea, guys, you're gonna be out of luck because it's very hard to get 55 TDS in a day. So this is where the storage comes in. Let's say I can use up about 700 gallons in a week. So we got, you know, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, 7 day. And I got 700 gallons, okay? So I'm pumping 1 day 55 TDS, right? And while I'm pumping that water, it jumps to 110, 200 TDS. So I would shut it off. And let's say I would pump only 200 gallons. So technically, it's not full of the 700 gallons, but I would stop because I also have, let's say, another 200 in the van that I could still use that I pumped previously. All right, so I stopped. I got 200 gallons extra already now in the total of the 700. Okay, so I have 200 gallons here. Next day I go, right? Out mobile, I gotta use water, and I'm gonna use only 100 gallons. So now I'm only gonna have 100 gallons of water here. So in all general idea, if you were to pump 700 gallons at the lowest TDS, right? So you use, let's say 1 day you use 100 gallons. 2nd day you use another 200 gallons. 3rd day you use another 100 gallons. 4th day another 100 gallons. So you get the general idea. So basically that's 100, that's 300, that's 400, that's 500. Oh, perfect. On the 100, that's going to be 700. Okay. So let's say this whole week. In day 1, you used 100 gallons. Day 2, and so on. So pretty much, if you weren't pumping any water during those days, you would be out of water out of storage water. But when you use that water and you free up that 100 gallons or 200 gallons in the storage, you check what TDS is that day. And you gotta believe it. You gotta use, I don't know why I messed up, but you gotta find when it's at lowest point on TDS. So basically, if you use up one day, the TDS is high, so you don't pump anything, you're missing 100 gallons already. Day 2, you check, the TDS is high, so you're missing 300 gallons. All of a sudden, third day, you get lucky, it goes to 55 gallons, so you're missing already 300 gallons. So in that third day, if it stays for long enough on the 55 TDS, then you would pretty much want to fill up all those 300 gallons. So you can be back at full of 700. So I hope you guys understood this part, how it works. I don't know why I'm going into such details, but that's also why you would want to do that. Okay, I think I covered everything, so I'm just going to grab the camera here. And let's see what I can find here. Okay. All right, sorry guys, I'm going to just go a little bit back so I can see what I got here. Okay. So shout out to everybody that's watching, that stopped by. Clean Right, Cut Right, GWORKS, Devon, Sporties. Oh, baby. Details called Julie. KOS. Oh, King of Shine. Hey, King of Shine. Okay. All right, now let me go ahead and read some of your comments. Okay, so what's good, Clean Right, what's good? I don't know if you're still here or not. What up, GWORKS? Yo, everybody good? Devon, what's goody, everyone? What's up? What's good? Clean Right, dear water, yes sir. That's actually taller than the picture you sent me. Oh, no, it's the same one. It's the same one, George. Okay. Let's see here. Back to finish the freight truck. Oh yeah, it was a sporty souls workout on track, that's right. Welcome to detailing school with Professor Toly. Babe, stop it. Okay, Julie, what's up? Lab man. Lab man. I always learn something from watching your videos, Block Toly Detailing. Thanks, King of Shine. Yes, sir. Time is money. Total dissolved solids. Yep. We can't see the whiteboard. Okay. Man, see, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this is what I wrote down. So I'm just going to hold it while I'm going through the comments so you can actually, see the information. Just ordered my 270th tank. Next in a generator. Oh, next is a generator. All right, sweet. Grab your phone before you end and show the whiteboard up close. Yeah, babe, I know. He's in the zone. Yes, sorry, guys, I was in the zone. I'm going to get the one you have once you put the link out for the DI tank. Yep, pump one. Totally good stuff. All right. Oh, so you can change it. I didn't know that. While you're doing live. Now I know. Well, all right, guys. Oh, man, I think this would... Let me just switch it back. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I was looking at the whole time. Kind of small still. But, guys, break it down for me. If I need to clarify anything. And I got to get out of here because I got to go out mobile still. Oh yeah, that's right. It was pretty much today already, George. That's right. You go to sleep late, man. 3:30. Oh, and besides, who knows even if you went to sleep at 3:30. And then, I gotta say about I keep forgetting. Randy, you do it too fast. That was like 6 minutes, and I couldn't even hop on there on time to catch you live. But yeah, I've been on like for what, 45 minutes already. So yeah, that takes, very long. We don't sleep. Yeah, we don't sleep. Well, anyways, guys, this is all I had because I'm already running behind. I gotta go mobile again. So, as usual, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, you know, all that good stuff. And hopefully I'll be able to, you know, bring the information on this soon. But let me go ahead and show you before I go, the actual Culligan tank. So this one is about to my, you know, chest area. This one is like more, you know, a foot smaller. So my stomach or so with this guy. Okay, well guys, that's it. I gotta get out of here. So for everyone that stopped by, guys, I appreciate it so much. If you guys have any more questions, I guess I gotta go out mobile still. So Randy told me you told him to stay longer on live. Well, yeah, I know I did, but 6 minutes wasn't long enough because that's how long his video was, 6 minutes. So hold on, this looks thicker. Is that what you said, George? I don't know. On the dimensions, it does say 9-inch, and on theirs as well, it says 9-inch. So maybe on the camera it looks different, but me standing here looking at live, it actually looks the same. Maybe the distance-wise plays, you know, a role, and it looks different. I guess different size. Yeah, no, the new one actually is the same size. Me standing here personally looking at it. Well, guys, that was detailing school with Tolys. I guess like my wifey said. Oh, babe, I forgot to shout out to you. I don't know if you're still watching. So shout out to you, babe. Well, guys, to all of you, thank you for stopping by. Peace. I gotta go. Let me see here. I must be the finish on the new one. Oh, I haven't looked at this, but it looks like this is fiberglass. The build of this is fiberglass. Yeah, and this is like a saran wrap type deal to hold it in. So it's kind of a good thing because metal does rust and you don't want that. So far, it's all PVC. There's barely any metal on there except the ends, which these ones don't really rust, but yeah, it just gets a coat of it. So it's kind of good because the more rust you get, the more filthier on water you get. Well, all right. I gotta go, guys. Thank you. Peace.